Ram, 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 very fast. Nothing in comparison to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one round takes 7-8 minutes. But Ram, I don't remember how much I would take. I would write also Ram, comma, Ram, comma, Ram. Sometimes 8, 10, 15 pages like that. He had given me some target, 3 crore or 3.5 crore or 33 crore. So my target in life was before I die, I should complete so many holy names of Ram. But thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we came to Krishna Nam. Father gave Ram Nam, but Prabhupada gave Krishna Nam. Like that Durga says, or Maya says. Earlier I was initiated in Ram Nam by my husband. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Bistulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So Ram Ram, Shivaji is always chanting Sankarshan's name. Ram, Ram. And that's what he had initiated her into. His wife also was initiated. But she wanted Krishna Nam from Namacharya Haridas Thakur. So then he chanted, he was not able to chant, then Narad Muni said, okay, you chant the opposite, the reverse, Mara. So Mara was very easy. Maro, Pakado, Kato, that was his language. So Mara, okay, he said fine. So he chanted Mara, 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 Mara. Over the period of time, it became Ram. And he chanted several thousand holy names. And eventually went on to become Valmiki Maharshi, who wrote Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, 24,000 verses. And there also, again, Narad Muni had come in to give a brief version of Ramayana, like that. Brahmaji guided him, you please, the long story basically, one male bird was killed by one hunter, and female bird was crying and she also left body. So that time, Valmiki Maharshi seeing this, he pronounced a curse. And after that, he felt, why did I curse like this? This is usually happening always. What have I got to do with this? But then at once Brahma appeared and said, my dear Maharshi, this is the arrangement of the Lord. You please write Ramayana, the glories of Lord Ram. The curse you pronounced was in Anushtup Chanda. So in the same Chanda you write Ramayana. And he was wondering, how can I know how to write? So that time Narad Muni comes and gives him a very brief version of Ramayana. And then he tells him, you don't worry, you just take the kalam and you start writing everything that is needed to be known or written. That will all come to your intelligence. And then he started doing that and everything came, 24,000 verses. And that is the power of Narad Muni, delivering a very low class person like Ratnakar, the heavy dacoit. Similarly, Mrugari's story we all know. When he was in Prayagraj area and Narad Muni was passing through that Prayagraj forest, he found so many animals half killed. Their legs were shot with arrows and blood was oozing out. They were trembling. Very slowly they were coming, meeting their death. And Narad Muni was surprised, who is that? Then after some distance he found a very cruel looking personality with bow in his hand, arrows in the quiver. Then he asked, are you the one? He said, yes, I kill. This is our family tradition. We have killed the animals like that. And we take pleasure in seeing them trembling and dying. Narad Muni said, better kill fully. So this is the expertise of Narad Muni, the best preacher. He did not say, what nonsense. He said, better kill them fully. So they said, oh, fine. So he is not going against killing. He is saying, better kill fully. So that way it is said, connection is formed. Devotees know. Icebreaker we call sometimes. So many words are there. But basically we should speak according to the level of the person. So Narad Muni said, better fully kill. And then again he revealed to him how this is deadly. Then he delivered him also. We know how he also became such a great person that eventually when Narad Muni came to meet him, he came running, but on the way found the ants going there. And he at once stopped with his uttari, very gently brushed them aside. Then he went ahead to receive Narad Muni and Parvat Muni. And Parvat Muni was surprised. My dear Narad Muni, is this the same disciple of yours who would have killed the animals? Now what a transformation. What power you have, Narad Muni. Parvat Muni glorifies his friend. They are both friends, Narad Muni and Parvat Muni. So what power you have by your potency. He has become such a gentle, compassionate Vaishnava that he does not even wish to set step on ants. Glorious you are. So Narad Muni is very powerful. And down the line, all the acharyas also derive their power from Narad Muni. Narad Muni is Bhakti Shakti. He carries Bhakti Shakti. So devotee of the Lord is very, very powerful. And when he decides to give mercy to someone, Lord has to agree. So that is what is being discussed over here. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. Ishwarara Krupana he Veda Paratantra. Neither the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead nor that of Ishwarpuri is subject to any Vedic rules and regulations. So Vedas may talk about many rules and regulations. This has to be done, that has to be done. One has to go to many holy places. That shloka is there. What is that? Yad jivhagre vartate nama tubhyam. What is the beginning? Aho bata shwapacho ato gariyan yad jivhagre vartate nama tubhyam te pustapaste juhu shashnurarya brahmanuchura nama grananti yete. So he says, Aho bata shwapacho ato gariyan. Even if somebody is born in Shwapacha family. Shwapacha means, the explanation is given, Shwa, Kutta, dog, one who can digest dog. Pacha, Pachan, digesting. So he kills dog, he cooks dog's flesh, eats it, and he can digest it. Such kind of low class people. Aho bata shwapacho ato gariyan yad jivvagre vartate nama tubhyam. But if such a person is given mercy by pure devotee of the Lord, and at the tip of his tongue, if there is always the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then it is understood that he has done all the Vedic, whatever rules, regulation. He says, Tepus tapaste juhu shashnurarya. He has done all the austerities, he has gone to all the holy places, he had taken dip in all the holy rivers, Dan, Yagya, Tap, everything is done. Because the fact that there is holy name at the tip of his tongue, that means every of the Vedic, whatever the norms are there, that is all done. One need not go for all these things now. Tepus tapaste juhu shashnurarya brahmanuchur nama grananti yete. Those who take the holy name of the Lord. Even Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vedesha tapas, what is that? 8.29? Vedes, that is 15:15. 8th chapter, 29th verse, last. Vedeshu yaggeshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam attaiti sarvam evam viditva vedi yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. So Vedeshu tapassu yaggeshu, all this, everything is done if one has come to Krishna and chanting his holy name. He need not go into all those things. So we also should not go here, there. Some devotees sometimes they don't understand the potency of devotional service, and even the beads given by the spiritual master. So they take the beads and they dip in the Ganges thinking that let me purify my Tulsi beads. Spiritual master has already chanted, they are already Tulsi beads. Tulsi is always in Vrindavan. She grows in Vrindavan. She has performed austerities for 60,000 years, Vrinda Devi. And very potent, very powerful. And we get Tulsi beads, so they are very powerful. His Grace Sankarshadas Adhikari Prabhu, one of the gurus in ISKCON, Grihastha Guru. So he said, just by putting hand in the bead bag, a devotee enters in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And I was wondering how, when I put my hand in the bead bag, how I enter in Vrindavan. I was not understanding for some time. But then afterwards, I was thinking. So my realization is, because inside Tulsi beads are there, Tulsi Maharani always grows in Vrindavan. So when I touch Tulsi beads, I am in Vrindavan. Because she is in Vrindavan. And I am in touch with her. I am also in Vrindavan. So we are so fortunate. So we don't have to go for, sometimes tapasya, sometimes very simple initiated devotees, they don't know. So they put some vrata or something. If my grandson passes in its 10th standard exam, then I'll put half kg pedas to Jagannath. Something like that. One such lady told me like that. Please put half kg peda to Prabhupada. Prabhupada I had prayed to. Like the Navas, Navas, Mannat Mangna. So I said, Prabhupada, nobody gives pedas in front of Prabhupada. How can I keep? And he said, no, secretly you go and put there. I said, secretly what? Prabhupada, we don't put pedas. like that. She said, no, no, don't worry, I will give you the money. I said, money is not the problem. This is not what we do. She said, no, but I had prayed and he has passed in 10th standard, my grandson. So I said, all glories. But anyway, I said, when you come, you only put. That is better. But anyway, we don't have to get into so many other subsidiary or lower vratas, tapas, yagyas. So many are there. In India, we know how so many of them do so many. Shravani Somwar, the Mondays of Shravan month, then what not. We don't get into all that. We have our own regulations given by acharyas, just like fasting on Janmashtami, Lord's appearance days, and acharya's appearance, disappearance days, half day, whatever it is. So that we follow, not these Vedic rules and regulations. And spiritual master is very important. He will deliver us across this ocean of birth and death. So Ishwar, both Supreme Lord as well as Ishwar Puri, are independent. Ishwarera kripa jati kuladi namane vidurera ghare Krishna karila bhojane. Ishwarera kripa, the mercy of Lord as well as Ishwar Puri, jati kuladi namane. It doesn't recognize jati, in which caste one is born, kula, which kul he comes in, lineage, family lineage. That is not a consideration at all. Vidurare ghare Krishna karila bhojane. He gives example. In the house of Vidura, Krishna accepted the food. Vidura was low class. He was born of a Kshudrani. We know the story how Satyavati mother, because she lost her sons, Vichitravirya was killed. And Chitrangad and Vichitravirya both ultimately got killed. One died in disease. So the two daughters-in-law she had, Ambika and Ambalika, they were widows without any child. So Kuruvamsha doesn't have next child, ruler. So what to do? So then she called her earlier son, whom she received through Parashar Muni. Long story, but that's how Vedvyas was born, through Parashar Muni. That place is there now also, on the bank of the Yamuna, near Kanpur. If we are going, railway goes through that place. Very holy place. So in that river, Parashar Muni united with Satyavati and produced Vedvyas. And Vedvyas at once grew to youthful days. And he said, Mother, I am going to Badrikashram. Whenever you need my help, you just remember me, I will at once appear. So yesterday, as we were discussing, one of the 5 things forbidden in Kali Yuga. So one of them is Devarena Sutotpatpi, producing child through the brother of husband, Devar. So that is the formula applied by Satyavati there. When she finds that now my sons are not there to impregnate my daughters-in-law. So what to do? So she's thought of another son, like Devar to Ambika and Ambalika. She called Vedvyas and told that you impregnate Ambika. So Ambika, when she was told that Satyavati's son would be uniting with you to produce a child, so she thought Satyavati's son is Bhishma. And Bhishma was very powerful, beautiful, hero, amazing. So she was dreaming of him, and suddenly door opened and came Vedvyas. And she was horrified because Vedvyas looks very ugly, horrible, because he is ascetic. All the long hair, jata, matted hair, and black complexion. So she got terrified, and in fear she closed her eyes only. And all throughout her eyes were closed. Then after the union, when Satyavati asked, so what would be the result? So he said that she would have a powerful son, but because she closed eyes and remained like that throughout, so her son would be born blind only. So then Satyavati said, oh, what is the use of a blind son? He cannot be a ruler. He cannot be king. King has to have eyes because he has to see the distress of his citizen. And naturally there will be compassion. He will extend himself to help them. So blind king is not possible. So then she said, okay, you unite with the next one, Ambalika. So then Ambalika was told by Ambika that he is not Bhishma. Don't think Bhishma will come. This person is very horrible looking and all that. Don't close your eyes. Outcome would be dangerous. So she was ready, prepared, but she still did not understand what it means to be facing Vedvyas. And ugly means how much ugly, she was still not clear. And when Vedvyas came, she got terrified. My God, this person is too difficult to look at. But because she was told, she kept her eyes wide open somehow out of fear. But then she became pale. So then, and weak. That's why the son born Pandu was also weak and pale. Pandu, white in complexion, pale complexion. So then, again, when that was told to Satyavati, she said, oh, then that is also not proper. So now you again try with Ambika. So Ambika was told, Ambika was said, nothing doing, I don't want to face him. So she forwarded the Shudrani, her maid servant. And Shudrani has no problem. They're low-class women. So for them, uniting with a man is not a big deal. So she was very cordial, very nicely she welcomed Vedvyas. And then outcome was Vidur. So Vidur is also accepted as younger brother by Dhritarashtra and Pandu. But still because he is born from Shudrani, so he also comes from Shudra family. But he is a pure devotee of the Lord. That's why Krishna does not consider all this jati, cool, etc. What he requires is only love and devotion. Anybody from any background, if he just offers Krishna with love and devotion, a fruit, flower, water, etc., Krishna is happy to take. So in the Vidur's house, we know how when Duryodhana ka bhoga na khayo, रूखे शाक विदुर घर खायो, ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम राधे श्याम श्यामा श्याम. This Vaishnava song reveals how Duryodhana ka bhoga na khayo. Duryodhana had prepared 56 offerings, 56 bhog, and he invited Krishna, come to my palace and have, what an invitation is giving. Come to my palace and have opulent feast, 56 bhog. Krishna says, I will not come. Only in two situations one visits somebody's house. If person is hungry and if he is invited, he may go. Or he may not be hungry, but because the person is inviting with love, so one cannot resist. Even though one is not hungry, one will still go. So I am not hungry first of all, and you don't have love for me, so why should I come to your house? I will not come. And Krishna rejected flatly that proposal. Then he went to Vidur's house, where he was not present, but his wife was present. And she got completely stunned. How Lord came and what to do, where to make him sit. They were poor. Somehow she gave him some mat. Lord sat. And what to feed the Lord? Inside nothing, but only bananas, peels were there. Bananas were there. And she peeled out and threw the banana, and she was offering pills. And Lord also very happily taking that. After some time when Vidur came, he was shocked. He said, you foolish lady, what are you feeding? And she saw what she was feeding. In her hand, peel is there. In Krishna's hand, one peel, and one peel is already going in his mouth. And all the bananas are there below. She felt terrible. She was crying almost. Krishna said, no, I am not hungry for these bananas. For me, it doesn't matter. But I am hungry for love. And she is offering me pills with so much love. So I am happy with this. That doesn't mean that we give bananas to our home deities, our temple deities, and we eat bananas nicely. That is not prasad, that is bhoga then. So we should offer bananas. Krishna mercifully keeps behind something, so that we will have faith, conviction to offer next time. In this story of Alarnath, near Jagannath Puri, 25 kilometers away on sea beach. So that story is there where Lord Janardhan has manifested in 400 form. So that deity was there, and the Brahmin Pujari told his son, my dear son, please offer that kheer or something to the Lord. So he went and he offered, and Lord was there standing. So he said, oh Lord, please take it, you are not taking, just like Raghunandan's story, Mukund Sarkar's son, like that. So then Lord was obliged, because so much he started crying only, small child. So then Lord ate the kheer. Then he came back. And father said, where is the kheer? Prasad, Mahaprasad. He said, Lord ate it. Lord ate. How he ate? So he said, okay, again offer. So he prepared another hot kheer. And he wanted to see what happens exactly. And when that was offered to the Lord, and again the child started crying. So Lord took that kheer to eat. And that person, he understood this Lord really eats. He came there, third, he just hit that dish. And kheer, hot kheer, got sprinkled. One fell here, one Lord's fingers, they got burnt. So even now, if you go and see that deity, how many of you seen that deity? Some devotees have gone there. So if you see the other hand, fingertips are so smooth, so beautiful. But this hand fingertips, they are burnt basically. You know, how the burnt fingers would look like. Similarly here, there is one, that hot kheer, burnt spot is there, and some other places. So devotee, if they accept, they offer something with love, Lord accepts. So Vidurera Ghare Krishna Karila Bhojani. Krishna very happily accepted food in the house of Vidura, though Vidur was low born, he was born Shudra. But Lord sees bhakti. There is one shloka in the Padyavali of Rupa Goswami, where he says that Gajandrasya ka, what is that shloka? Vyadhasya chak, Vidya Gajandrasya ka. Where was Gajendra educated? He was a dumb animal. Then Vidurasya ka jati, something like that. What was the jati of Vidura? Then Ugrasenasya ka paurusham. What was the manliness of Ugrasen? He was king, but his own son Kamsa, he dethroned him and rather put him in prison. So what was his manliness? Nothing, but pure devotee. All these are pure devotees. Similarly, some other examples also he gives. Several examples he gives, and at the end he says, Bhakti Tushyati Madhava, that is the last words. It is bhakti in these people. They did not have jati, they did not have education, they did not have paurushatva, they did not have so many things. Mundane expertise, talents, powers, these people did not have. Each one of these personalities, but they had pure devotion. And that is what pleases Madhava. Bhakti Tushyati Madhava, and nothing else. Not the ball, strength, etc. I think Dhruvasya is also there. What was the why? Why? Age of Dhruva. Very small child, 5 years old. Like that, so many categories are given, and how they were weak in a particular aspect of life. Material calculations, basically. But spiritually, they had bhakti. Bhakti pleases the Lord. स्नेहलेशापेक्षा मात्र श्री कृष्ण कृपार स्नेहवश हया करे स्वतंत्र आचार. Lord Krishna's mercy is dependent only on affection. Being obliged only by affection, Lord Krishna acts very independently. So anybody offers him love, Krishna becomes attracted to it. It doesn't matter who he is and all that. For that matter, we find even Putana, she was such a treacherous witch that she came to kill Krishna. But because she had apparently fed milk to Krishna, Krishna accepted, elevated her to the position of being the nurse. Though she was not a nurse who could go touch Krishna, take him on the lap, feed milk, none of these things were allowed because her heart was still having poison. But she could be in the vicinity of Mother Yashoda, Klimbika, and other nurses who would directly nurse Krishna. And she was nearby assisting them. But that in itself is quite a great elevation for such a poisonous witch. So Krishna is completely independent. Janmad yasya to anvayad itaratascha Janmad yasya yato anvayad itaratascha abhigya swarat. Swarat means completely independent. Lord cannot be controlled by anyone. But certainly he gets controlled by Srimati Radharani. Only bhakti. Radharani is nothing but no one else but bhakti. So bhakti is so powerful. Maryada haite koti sukha sneha acharani paramananda hayayara nama shravani. In conclusion, dealings in affection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead bring happiness many millions of times greater than dealings with him in awe and veneration. Simply by hearing the holy name of the Lord, the devotee is merged in transcendental bliss. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, raganuga sadhana bhakti, and ultimately bhav bhakti and prema bhakti. So Lord cannot be achieved, it is said, through this Vaidhi bhakti. It is through raganuga bhakti. But we follow Vaidhi bhakti to reach that stage. If one wants to be in higher rasas with the Lord, with Krishna, then one has to come to the platform of raganuga bhakti. Vaikuntha can be achieved through Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, etc. इतबली गोविंदे रे कैल आलिंगन, Govinda karila prabhura charana vandan. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda, and Govinda in turn offered his respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Everywhere we find same standard. Younger devotee pays obeisances to senior, and senior embraces him. प्रभु कहे भट्टाचार्य करह विचार, गुरुर किंकरह य मान्य से आमार. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then continued speaking to Sarvam Bhattacharya. Consider this point. The servant of the spiritual master is always respectable for me. Tahare apana seva karaite na juyai, Guru agya diya che na ki kori upai. As such, it is not befitting that the Guru's servant should engage in my personal service. Yet my spiritual master has given this order. What shall I do? So he is facing one difficulty, Mahaprabhu, that God brother cannot be engaged in one's personal service. And here my Guru has sent this God brother of mine with the instruction that you serve your God brother. So what should I do now? So we can see here how Mahaprabhu is taking shelter of Sarvam Bhattacharya to know how to solve this typical confusion. So in our confusions also we should approach superiors. In the case of Dhruva Maharaj, when he was fighting with the Yakshas, one of them had killed his younger brother Uttam, stepbrother. So he became very angry. He went to take revenge, and in the process he killed millions of such Yakshas. And one point of time they just created so much illusion. He was completely confused what to do and what not to do. Everywhere. That photo is there in the 4th canto. That time he was guided by Brahma, Swambhu Manu. That, oh Dhruva, in your childhood only you have got darshan of the Lord. You just chant the holy name of the Lord and all this illusion would be dispelled. So he chanted the holy name and all the illusion got dispelled. So there Swambhu Manu personally came, but otherwise we should go to our superiors in the times of confusion and seek their guidance. Then we will be out of the confusion. In the purport, Prabhupada says, the Guru's servants or disciples are all God brothers to one another, and as such they should all respect one another as Prabhu or Master. No one should disrespect his God brother. For this reason, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sarvam Bhattacharya what to do about Govinda. Govinda was the personal servant of Ishwar Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, and now Ishwar Puri had ordered Govinda to become Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant. So what was to be done? This was the inquiry Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed before Sarvam Bhattacharya, an experienced friend. Prabhupada is giving adjective to this. Sarvam Bhattacharya is an experienced friend. So earlier morning we were discussing on Guhyam Akyati Pruchati, the 4th verse of Nectar of Instruction. Prabhupada's explanation of that is, an experienced devotee speaks and a less experienced devotee hears from him. This is called as Guhyam Akyati Pruchati principle. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is all knowing only, but in Lila he has Sarvam Bhattacharya with all regard. He is senior, he is very scholarly, knowers of the Vedas. So in that sense he is experienced devotee. But he has become devotee by the grace of Mahaprabhu only. But still Mahaprabhu follows the etiquettes and he is asking a senior devotee. And Prabhupada saying he is an experienced friend. So we should also approach our experienced friend. And we have so many. If we wish, we will have one at least. And we should not continue with the confusion. Otherwise, Maya could attack through that confusion. Maya plays many tricks and one will be bewildered. But if we approach an experienced friend, he will give us proper understanding what to do in such situation. Just like when Rupa Goswami, morning little bit we were discussing after the class, when he happened to not exactly offend, but something like that, when that one devotee was passing on the road, he was lame devotee, he was limping, and Rupa Goswami in his meditation was seeing what is happening in Golok Vrindavan Dham. Radharani is picked up by Krishna in arms, and she catches one branch and plucking flowers, putting in her basket, and suddenly Krishna releases her and a branch goes up and she is hanging up and Krishna is laughing. So he also laughs in his meditation. But then the Vaishnava passing on the road, he feels that he is laughing at me because I am limping, I am lame. So he takes the offense, and as the offense is accepted by a devotee, the devotee who happens to offend, he cannot meditate properly. His meditation broke. Rupa Goswami is wondering what happened. I'm not able to, I want to know what happened, how Radharani came down. But I cannot connect only. So then he goes to Sanatana Goswami saying that, brother, this is what happened. What should I do? I'm not understanding. So Sanatana Goswami says, you must have offended some devotee. So offend? I never offended any devotee. No, you might not have, but somebody might have accepted offense some way. So how would I know who got offended unknowingly? He said, it's very easy. Vaishnavas, you call them for prasadam, all will come. One who doesn't come, he is the one whom you have offended. So Rupa Goswami gives invitation to all Vaishnavas that please come for prasadam. So they all come except that devotee. And Sanatana Goswami tells him, he is the one you have offended. He said, but I never offended. He said, no, something is there. You go and find out. So Rupa Goswami goes, pays obeisances and says, Prabhu, please come for prasad. He said, no, I will not come. Why are you not coming? No, I don't want. No, please come. Then he reveals that day you laughed at me. He said, when? He said, that day, 10,000 years back. We don't forget our problem. We tell senior devotees. Some devotees tell other devotees, 20 years back, Prabhu, you looked at me like that. 20 years back? You should have told me that time only, na? I don't even remember 20 years back, where was I? So sometimes we carry it in the heart too much. So anyway, that Rupa Goswami begged forgiveness, paid obeisances, and very lovingly invited him. He came, and again when he sat in meditation, then he could see further what happened. Now you may say, but by that time, past time must have gone forward. No, this is spiritual connection. So he could see how she came down, how Krishna took her down. So we have to be approaching our experienced friend, devotee, and to get out of the confusion. One should not allow the confusion to be there in life, in spiritual. And for that matter, if we daily read Prabhupada books, then we would not get engulfed by confusions only. I think that day I was telling, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said, anybody who reads Bhagavad Gita for 1 hour daily, Maya cannot touch him. Earlier I had heard that he had said, anybody reads Prabhupada books for 2 hours daily, Maya cannot touch him. But either way, if we read, because Prabhupada sharpens our intelligence, all the rust produced by Maya, which covers our intelligence, our consciousness, Prabhupada immediately removes it through his very nice words. Bhatta kahe gurur agya hoya balavan, guru agya na langhiye shastra praman. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sought the guidance from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is now speaking. The order of the spiritual master is very strong and cannot be disobeyed. That is the injunction of the Shastras, the revealed scriptures. And he quotes from Raghuvamsh, quotation from the Raghuvamsh, from Ramayana Ayodhya Kand. He is saying one verse. Being ordered by his father, Parshuram killed his mother, Renuka, just as if she were an enemy. When Lakshman, the younger brother of Lord Ramchandra, heard of this, he immediately engaged himself in the service of his elder brother and accepted his orders. The order of the spiritual master must be obeyed without consideration. Then next he says, the order of a great personality like a father must be executed without consideration, because there is a good fortune in such an order for both of us. In particular, there is good fortune for me. Tabe Mahaprabhu tare kaila aling angikar apana Shri Anga sevai dila adhikar. After Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Govinda and engaged him in the service of his personal body. So scriptural injunctions are topmost. They are like beacon light, as we say, lighthouse. Like we know that once one person was sailing in the boat and then he sent message. There was another ship obstructing the night time. He said, get out of my way. Then the message came from there. You go to the side. Then he said, no, you have to get out of the way. Then the message came from there. This is lighthouse here. Immovable. You have to go to the side. Then he accepted. So scriptural injunctions are something like lighthouse, undoubtedly. But even above that is Guru's instruction. Just like our practical example, when it is red signal, you have to stop your vehicle and wait for it to become green and start. But if the red signal is there and the traffic police standing, they say, come, quick, like that he said. You have to drive your vehicle. You cannot say red signal. You are breaking the rules or what? No. There is some problem there. He knows better. Maybe that red signal is red signal forever. Something is gone wrong. So he knows the something that we don't know what is the thing. If you want, you can meet him personally and ask him. Something is gone wrong. So that's why he's saying, come quickly. He will not tell like that foolishly. Some problem with that system, control system or something. So he's saying, come quickly. So we have to see him. He is more important. That is mechanical system. There could be some fault then. Similarly, Vedas do say, and we should follow, but even above that is the instruction of the spiritual master. Otherwise, Vedas say so many things. Like a sannyasi should not cross oceans. This is Vedic injunction. But Prabhupada crossed. One after other, so many oceans he crossed. That's why some people say some ill things about Prabhupada. But compassion knows no limits. Compassion goes beyond all the rules and regulations of the material world. So spiritual compassion, Krishna's compassion. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. He is the ocean of mercy. And pure devotee is also like that. So one should not limit him to these shallow, small Vedic regulations. Prabhura Priya Bhrutya Kari Sabhe Kare Mana Sakala Vaishnavera Govinda Kare Samadhana. So Lord accepted Govinda, embraced him and engaged him in his service of his personal body. Everyone respected Govinda as the dearest servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Govinda served all the Vaishnavas and saw to their needs. So just see, he is a personal servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But what is written here? Sakala Vaishnavera Govinda Kare Samadhan. He just did not serve and please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he also served and pleased all the devotees. So even those who are in direct service of the Lord should know that they have to serve the devotees. Serving devotees is more important than serving the Lord. But because he was ordered to serve the Lord only, he did it. But apart from that, he also made sure that he served other Vaishnavas also and saw to their needs. Chota bada kirtaniya dui haridas ramai nandai rahe govindera pash. Chota bada kirtaniya dui haridas. Two haridasas are there. One is senior Haridas and one is junior Haridas. Both of them were musicians, as well as Ramai and Nandai used to stay with Govinda for different services. So this Haridas Thakur seems to be different from Namacharya Haridas Thakur, because Namacharya Haridas Thakur has his own place allotted to him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is called as Siddha Bakul. And he will not stay anywhere else because he is very humble. Anybody who is so humble, only he can chant 300,000 holy names a day. So he was given a secluded place by Mahaprabhu. But this is some another devotee, a senior Haridas, and another is junior Haridas. Both are musicians. They all stayed with Govinda. Govindera sange kare prabhura sevan, Govindera bhagya sima na jaye varnan. They all remained with Govinda to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, no one could estimate the good fortune of Govinda. To get to serve the Lord is very special. But one who has pleased the devotees, he becomes dear to the Lord. We all know that famous story of Kanchipurna. So Kanchipurna was fanning the Lord, Varadraj, every day. And he was so close to the Lord. Lord would speak to him. In fact, devotees had anything to ask from the Lord, they would put petition through him. Could you please ask this, that, like that. So one devotee happened to ask, could you please ask the Lord, when would I go back to Godhead? So then he asked, Kanchipurna asked, oh Lord, that devotee is asking, when would he go back to Godhead? So in this very life only, as soon as he completes his life, he is going back to Godhead. And then Kanchipurna thought about himself, what about me? Then he asked, oh Lord, what about me? When would I go back to Godhead? So, oh no, you cannot go back to Godhead. Oh, I cannot go. Why? Because you have not served any of my devotees. Only those who serve devotees, they can go back to Godhead. Not the ones who serve me directly. He said, well, really? Then he kept the chamar down. He went away. I have to find out some devotee. But there everybody knew the caliber of Kanchipurna, that he directly is in touch with the Lord. So he went far, far away to one Vaishnava, and there he changed also and served him very humble, menial way for 6 months or so, without revealing his identity, that he is Kanchipurna. And then that Vaishnava was very much pleased, and Kanchipurna, when he understood that he was pleased, then he came back to Kanchipurna, to here, what is that place? Kanchipuram, yeah, Kanchipuram, Varadaraj. And then he picked up the chamar and he asked, oh Lord, so now what about me? He said, yes, you have served my devotee, now you are qualified. You will go back to God. So, okay, thank God. So we have to know, Lord doesn't accept one who directly serves him. In Adi Purana also that shloka is there where Krishna says, Arjun, one who says that he is my devotee is not my devotee. But one who is a devotee of my devotee, he is my devotee. Bhaktisan Thakur, such a great acharya, is so busy. So if somebody came and he sent message through servant that I want to meet Bhaktisan Thakur for some time, then he would ask him, who is he? So then he would go, servant would go and ask, who are you, sir? So he said, I am devotee of Krishna. Like that. So then he would come and say, he is devotee of Krishna. You can tell him that I am very busy now. He can come some other day. So then he would be going and sorry, he is very busy. He said, okay, no problem. After just few seconds or minutes, somebody else comes similar description, and then he is asked, who are you, sir? Then he says, oh, I am servant of devotees. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur immediately would tell, get him immediately. I have my all time for him only. So he would follow that principle. Anybody claim to be devotee of Krishna? I don't have time. And anybody says, I am devotee of devotees, then all my time is for you. So servant of the servant, servant of the servant of the servant. This is the principle. In the outside world, you know how people go to celebrities, film stars, like that, famous personality, maybe politician, and then they want photo with him. Sometimes some people, they have to remain little behind, and they tell the friend, take the photo, because this politician is here or somebody, and he is so far, but when photo is taken, it will look like he is next to him. His at least head is next to him, but he is behind only. And what to speak if person gets to be very close to him, then click hundreds of photos, So people want their photos with great celebrities and all that. But Lord says, no, you have to go behind. You have to become servant of the devotee. False ego should not be there, that I should be seen as a big person. That Kanakadas, isn't it, from your Karnataka? So Kanakadas, when that particular discussion happens in the Gurukul, and asked that, what about Guru Maharaj? He will go back to Godhead? He said, no, I don't think he will go back to Godhead. And the disciples say, what? Nonsense. How can you say? They complain to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, just see what he says. Then Guru Maharaj asked, what about him? Yeah, he will not go. He will not go. He will not go. And what about you then? Will you go back to Godhead? Then what he said? If I can go, I may go. If I am so special. If I can go from my statement, then I may go. That is humility. Then one will definitely go. Kanakdas surely will go. He is already in Golok Vrindavan. But that is the thing. So I should not be there. I should be seen as a big person. That is not the thing. So in our speaking also, we should not use I too much, especially wherever the glorification is there. Yeah, I was there in that marathon, and I was the topper there. Or I was heading that whole group of devotees, which was the top number one team, like that. Basically, they needed guidance, and they were wondering who to take guidance from. And then they came to me, and I said, okay, fine, no problem. So this kind of boastful words should not be used. Even if that was the case, we should not present like that. Like Prabhupada, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur made that statement several times, that Lord Chaitanya has said, Prithvit yachyata nagaradigram, sarvatra prachar hoibe mora naam. That this mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will spread all over the world. So then all the disciples would be wondering, who will do? It has not happened so far. So then while climbing down the staircase, one of the God brothers of Prabhupada happened to ask, Guru Maharaj says that this would spread all over the world. I doubt, how would it happen? What do you think? Who would do that? Then Prabhupada said, someday some fool will do that. Hey? That means you have faith in Guru Maharaj's word, it will happen. Somebody will do. Then why do you call him the fool? Because who is that fool? Prabhupada humbly is meaning that he will be the one who will be doing it for the pleasure of Guru Maharaj. Like that. So one should not say that, yeah, some great person will do. And you don't know who is great person? Are you blind? Don't you see who is standing in front of you? Like that. Second founder Acharya. So we should not make foolish statements like that. We should always conduct ourselves with humility. At least in the devotee circle. What they say? Lion on chase and lamb at home. When we are out on the street, we should be like lion, distributing Krishna consciousness. And at home, with devotees, we should be like lamb. How lamb is? Very soft, very calm and gentle. What do you call? One doesn't feel tensed by seeing a lamb, rather feels lot of love. So like that we should be. तो गोविंदर भाग्य सीमा ना जाए वर्णन. There is no limit to the fortune of Govinda. Okay, next pastime is beginning. So, any question? Yes.
Prabhuji, I hear that from one devotee. So, with Acharya said, so if you have to do, if you are chanting Hare Krishna, nothing is required. We have discussed just now. I heard from one devotee that so we are not on that level. So some we can follow some ritualistic also, like that. So means some Brahman says you are in this dasha, you have to do for Shani these things. Means I understood that we are on that not on that level of we are not doing that much bhakti, so we can do that also, like that.
For this dasha and all, we don't have to worry. If like those who are in grahastha ashram, for them like this pindadan etc., that if you don't do, then it will be objectionable by so many relatives and all. So those which are customary, they may be done. Not this dasha and all. Dasha is all one's own choice. Not everybody takes care of dasha by going to this devta and that devta, or doing this puja, that puja. That is not required. We just surrender to the Lord, and Lord will. No, we are having durdasha only. Which other dasha? Life after life, we are accepting, isn't it? In that durdarsha, what about the other dasha, Shani dasha and Mangal dasha? That is not to be considered a big problem. We have durdasha, in that worst problem is there. Oh, that is personal choice. That's what I told. As far as dasha is concerned, everybody doesn't go for all that. Some people who have some faith in Vedic rituals, they go for some puja part, etc. Not everybody. Youngsters, where do they care? And many others also. And devotees don't have to worry about all that.
When I heard also, out of again I chant, it will be, I consider like it is very light. I take this only important. What is Krishna chanting? This only it will come.
You come to devotees, then you will not be able to hear those people. If you stay with them or you hear them, then that's what you will have durdarsha, sudursha. So one should not hear materialistic people. One should hear Guru Vani. What is Guru saying? Worst come worst, one may ask one's Guru only that this is what people are saying. What do you say? And if he says you go for that Shanti or whatever, then but he will not say. He will say just chant Hare Krishna. It's not required. Chanting is, everything is there in chanting. Any other question? Here. Achha, you have a question? Okay, here, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Puji, as you were mentioning that Narad Muni very intelligently preached by making him chant Mara to Ram. So nowadays we see that the youths, they appreciate more experience, experiential learning. And as you told that if we give prasad, then we make them on a mental platform, we don't get very nice devotees at the end of the day. And then we have to struggle with them, counseling, wasting so much of time with them. So surely I very well understand and take that and experience the same thing. If we make them grounded in Prabhupada books, they remain very strong, and the hearing is emphasized, and very less time goes on counseling them. But now even Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the West, he made them chant, dance, that what is wrong in this. And it was more, they were not very philosophical background. and the experience was good. They liked Prabhupada's behavior, and slowly they picked up, and Prabhupada grounded them in philosophy also. So in our stage at now, Prabhupada was he is a very elevated devotee, but we see at what level we change this. First year preaching, second year, third year, and we make sure that we are not making them on a mental level.
We should not worry too much about all this. Just because we have limited resources, that's where the question comes. To have select few, we choose our audience, we choose the people we want to preach to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can preach to everyone. Jare dekho tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh. We should not discriminate. We should give everyone without any discrimination. But because you have limited resources, time, etc., then that consideration may come. Otherwise, we don't discriminate. We don't say that these are low-class people, never to be preached. These are very high-class, elite people, so we will preach to them only. Not like that. We have lack of time, resources, etc. That's where the consideration comes. Otherwise, we should not offend people by thinking like that. They are on mental platform. And we should not think that we are getting them on mental platform. We should follow what strategies have been told by Prabhupada, like ABCD, etc., Association of Devotees, reading books, etc. Then all of us also do have some mental platform. Not that we are, mindless fellows. We also have some mind. We do use. Sometimes we get too much on that, so that becomes mental platform. But then we are also having counselors who guide us to come out of it. So we should not discriminate too much. If confused, you approach your superiors, some experienced devotee friend who will guide you.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for the class. Very nice. Earlier, you were saying that Guru's voice. You have to just listen whatever he says. If somebody has strong faith in Krishna but not as much faith in Guru, how to make one get very increase the faith in Guru so much and love towards Guru more?
Is it yourself or somebody else? Yourself. You can read Prabhupada books, and that Vani is very powerful. That will touch the heart. It will inspire us in spiritual life. And that way our chanting also improves. As I said, Prabhupada has written these books, Prabhupada only said, for inspiring all the people of the world to chant Hare Krishna. So without taking shelter of Guru, we won't be able to achieve Krishna. And so many statements are there wherein Krishna denies anybody coming to him directly. And that sloka also in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Prabhupada would often quote, Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyaite kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmanaha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith both in the Supreme Lord Krishna and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So both are required, not just one, both, isn't it? So if you have only attachment to Krishna, you can see you will not be able to go smoothly in spiritual life. For that matter, outside so many people are there who have some devotion for God, Ram, Krishna, etc. But they don't accept any Guru, so they don't go smoothly in their spiritual life. But Guru gives nice guidelines. He only connects us to Krishna, to Parampara. Otherwise, how would we approach Krishna? Krishna doesn't accept anyone directly. He has told that in so many places, isn't it? Even for that matter, Durvasa Muni went all the way to Vaikunta, directly face to face with Lord Narayan. He says, sorry, my devotee you have to take shelter of. I am helpless. I am powerless. Ambarish is powerful. So you have to take his shelter. So when he took shelter of Ambarish, then he got mercy of the Lord. In 8 stages, Durvasa Muni got delivered. In one book by His Holiness Shivaram Swami, Sadhavo Rudhayam Mayam. Devotees are in my heart, maybe English name of that book. Sadhavo Rudhayam Mayam. So he says in 8 stages how Durvasa Muni perfected his life. Durvasa Muni came in Chaitanya Lila, that is the 8th stage, as Gangadhar Bhattacharya. Gangadas Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teacher in the school. And that life he got delivered, Durvasa Muni. Earlier he was failure in several places. So, like when he went to Kamyakwan and that Akshapatra story, there also he was failure. He ran away because their stomachs got bulged out, like that. So eventually, step by step, several things. Then he came to Barsana also, Radharani's this thing. So he got some mercy of Radharani. He blessed her, but actually he got blessed through her, because he blessed her to be engaged in Krishna's service. So like that, several stages, 8 stages are there around. So we need we need Guru. Without that, we cannot approach Krishna. Krishna won't accept us. We are impure. Guru is pure, but he is there for impure people. Krishna is pure and he is for pure people only. Or pure people have to recommend them. Then impure people he will accept, not otherwise. So we have to go through Guru only. Is that okay? Okay? Yes.
Prabhuji, this stagnancy in spiritual life, because of this materialistic outlook towards life, I see that my own spiritual practice has been stagnating for a long time. What are the practical measures that to come out of that comfort, cozy zone?
Come in here.
Coming here.
Tell the president or some manager here that you don't have enough services. Then you see how you will sell in this flow with such high speed. So many friends will tell, "Arey, don't go so fast." So you have to come in the current, stream, mainstream. Then it will go with high speed. If you remain aside somewhere in some water there, like Kaliya Rad, so then it is different. So we have to come in the center. Where there is fire is there, isn't it? If you just like that, that story of Birbal Akbar. He said, "I'm cooking khichdi." So the khichdi pot was kind of on the ceiling, and fire is here. The remotest thing also cannot reach there. Like that, whole life khichdi can never cook. But if you bring the khichdi pot down exactly on the fire, within few minutes, khichdi will be cooked. So like that, we have to be in the fire to be fiery. Otherwise, we will be fired by Maya. So choice is ours. We decide. So we have to come consciously. Like that. Just like keeping aside materialistic association, we came in ISKCON, Prabhupada's shelter, Guru's shelter. But that is not enough. For up to Golok Vrindavan, we will have to again push ourselves. And devotees can push us. We have to come in that place where devotees will push us. Like that. That is one of the reasons why I come to places like this, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Why? Because there devotees will push me like anything. Prabhu, give this lecture, do that, do this. In Pune, we are just sitting there and then nothing to do. Means hardly anything to do. Like that. So we have to push ourselves. Otherwise, how would we be? Isn't it? Prabhupada said ours is a pushing moment. My spiritual master pushed me, I am pushing you, you push the rest of the world. Ours is a pushing moment. So come in the active zone, active area. I'm sure here some leaders must be there. Manmali Govind Prabhu is quite concerned about youth preaching. If you just come forward, he will immediately give you 5-6 colleges to start with. Starter. Then he will give you 50-60 colleges. There is no dearth of colleges. Then there are colleges outside of Bangalore also, by the way. Mysore and so many places. You should just give green signal. Or even saffron signal will do. They will ensure it becomes green. Before time. Means you may have responsibilities, but still, apart from that, we have to do. You can take up services in your own place also, your own house, have weekly program. You yourself can call sometimes some other devotees. We have to preach. Prana achiyar sahetu prachar. One who has life, he will preach. One who preaches, he will have life. Either way. So life means Krishna. All the top book distributors of the world, when they came together, like Naveen Neerad Prabhu, Vaisheshika Prabhu, and many others, so they have made seminars, and in that they say book distribution is overflow. Just like a container is there, you keep pouring water, it gets filled up, and when it comes here, it's filled, you keep pouring water, it will overflow. So one who keeps on receiving Krishna in his heart, Krishna, 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 then Krishna starts overflowing in the form of outreach, preaching, like that. So we have to come in active zone. We have to receive Krishna from devotees. Then we will be inspired to preach. Or just take instruction from devotees from distance and start preaching. Again, Krishna will help. Nachatasman manusheshu kashin me priyakritama. There is no one more dear to me than he who preaches my message to others. Prabhupada was a grahastha, little staying away from temples, etc., Gaudiya mutts, but then he was doing so many services. And that's how he was so active. So preaching is very important for all devotees. If they want life, they have to preach. Otherwise, we will be like dead fellows. We will be wondering what is going on. Why am I so strong? So that should not happen. We have to be active like that. Isn't it? Okay. So we'll end. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी.
Hare Krishna. We are very fortunate to have last 3 days the association of His Grace Sundar Sham Prabhu. Morning and evening we are hearing from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And because Prabhuji relishes Chaitanya Charitamrita, because of which while